A few years ago, there was a streamer, I think everybody knows who I'm talking about, who was obsessed with me. If I got a girl's number on Fresh and Fit, he tried to do the same thing. Every single thing I did, he copied verbatim. He tried to be me, literally be me. He was obsessed with me.
Why is somebody like him knowingly spreading lies when he could be doing what you're doing? What led you down this path and what's keeping him on the other side?
I mean, that's the whole premise of selling your soul. It's like you get a bunch of shit that you want and you lose your integrity for it, right? I got blessed because I got all the things that I wanted already. It's not the center of my universe like it is with PBD, like it is with Tate.
There is a saying that the brightest flames burn out the fastest. And right now, we are witnessing the complete, undeniable flameout of Andrew Tate. Today, we have to talk about the absolute desperation radiating from the former top G in 2026, and how Sneako, of all people, became the one to expose him, outsmart him, and completely strip away his facade. If you haven't been paying attention, the Manosphere is pretty much dead. The era of screaming at women on podcasts and selling generic alpha male advice is over. Prominent figures are distancing themselves, governments are pulling back, and the mainstream internet has moved on. So, what does a guy like Andrew Tate do when he loses his spotlight and his relevance? He panics. He starts throwing punches at the wall, hoping to hit anyone who will give him a crumb of clout. And his latest target is Sneako. But here's the reality. Sneako isn't just holding his own, he is objectively destroying Tate by doing the one thing Tate can no longer do, which is standing firmly on his morals. Let's break down exactly how Sneako systematically dismantled Andrew Tate's desperate attempts to stay relevant.
Why is somebody like him knowingly spreading lies when he could be doing what you're doing? What led you down this path and what's keeping him on the other side?
I mean, that's the whole premise of selling your soul. It's like you get a bunch of shit that you want and you lose your integrity for it, right? I got blessed because I got all the things that I wanted already. It's not the center of my universe like it is with PBD, like it is with Tate. You know, it's going to be impossible for those people not to be ultimately compromised if somebody wants to influence them.
To understand this beef, you have to look at how far Andrew Tate has fallen. This is a guy who built an empire on the concept of rigid, unbreakable masculine values. He told millions of young men not to sell out, to avoid degeneracy, and to stand strong against the system. But what happened when the spotlight started fading? He sold out. Earlier this year, Sneako correctly called out Tate for a massive, glaring double standard.
This is the stuff that pissed me off. So Tate tweets as soon as the strikes happen, Tate tweets, "Nobody wants this war." Tate, you have tech teams in Israel. You have tech teams in Israel. You and your brother allegedly said that your tech teams in Israel can pull the plug on your business at any second. That's why Sneako did it. The song's inappropriate. You spent a whole Jewish podcast apology tour pointing the finger at me because of a song that offended the people that brought us into this war. You didn't spend the podcast tour talking about Epstein, talking about the Iran war.
After years of Tate and his brother Tristan claiming that streaming platforms like Kick promote degeneracy, gambling, and adult content that ruins the West, Andrew Tate took the bag. He completely flipped on his core audience and started promoting the exact same platform he demonized. Sneako, showing genuine growth and consistency, refused to let this slide. He highlighted the utter hypocrisy of Tate, a Muslim man, complaining about demographics in the West, only to turn around and promote a degenerate link a day later. He is willing to call out anybody, even his former mentor, if they abandon their principles.
Talking about the regime change mistake in Venezuela. In fact, you were waving around a gun, Andrew Tate, saying, "Yes, American empire, thank you, Trump." Now the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Why is that? Because they said, if you strike Iran, we're going to cut off the oil supply. Where does U.S. and Israel get other oil? From Venezuela. Dipshit. You fell for the propaganda. We need to invade Greenland. America's good. And then you're trying to run for Prime Minister of England? What side are you on? Are you a Muslim or do you have tech teams in Israel? Are you America first or Britain first? Are you a Zionist or what are you? Or are you just talking?
While Tate is flipping his values for a paycheck, Sneako has firmly grounded himself, standing passionately against global conflicts and refusing to compromise his integrity. And let's be brutally honest about Tate's track record lately. He lost an embarrassing fight to TikToker Chase Damore. He was exposed for making unhinged, cowardly excuses about global conflicts while simultaneously acting as a state-run propaganda mouthpiece for Dubai. Tate is spiraling, and Sneako is simply holding up a mirror to the chaos.
Is it fair to say that the greatest fraud check of all time happened on Saturday when Andrew Tate lost to Chase Damore? He should have never taken this fight. If there was any sort of doubt about him winning, he should have never taken this fight. And now he's going online and he's doing the babyface thing of like, you have to live. And I'd rather try and fail. No, that's not who you are.
So how does a cornered, aging influencer respond when a younger, sharper creator exposes his hypocrisy? Instead of taking accountability, Andrew Tate tried to buy his reputation back. Tate literally challenged Sneako to a boxing match, and when Sneako wasn't interested, Tate's team panicked. They doubled the offer to a massive $1 million just to get Sneako in the ring. Why? Because Tate is desperate to beat up a guy 4 weight classes lighter than him just to temporarily reclaim his top G status.
And I actually heard Andrew Tate's begging to do a fight with me. They asked me not to talk about it, but fuck it. I really owe no loyalty to Tate at this point.
It is a transparent, weak power play, but Sneako's response was a masterclass in modern content creation. He basically laughed in Tate's face. Sneako looked at the camera and said, $1 million doesn't change my life.
They just offered a counteroffer. They want me to fight for $1 million. That's how desperate he is to reclaim the top G status. But I stole that shit.
He realized there is zero benefit to fighting a guy who is aging out of the algorithm and has already been humiliated in the ring by a TikTok influencer. Prove that he can't be bought, leaving Tate shadowboxing the air, completely ignored.
I don't know what audience he's trying to appeal to, but he's trying to do anything to get it back. So they want me to do 1 mil on Misfits. I don't really see any benefit for me. What is he, like 4 weight classes heavier? He already lost a lot of his fight aura, let's be real. After fighting Chase Tamor, I respect people who get into the ring, but after Chase Tamor, the hype for your fight, after hyping yourself up for being a 4-time kickboxing champion, it's not the same as it once was.
Because Sneako wouldn't take the bait, Tate had to find another way to stay alive in the algorithm. Social media is a young man's game. To keep Hustlers University alive, Tate needs a constant flow of impressionable teenagers. But the generation that put him on the map, creators like Sneako and Aiden Ross, have grown up. They see through the facade now. So Tate started awkwardly leeching off the next generation. He has been blatantly clout chasing a teenager named Clavicular, a young streamer dominating the new wave. You have a 40-year-old father trying to use Gen Z TikTok slang like mogging just to fit in with teenagers. Sneako rightfully called this out as pathetic. When the boxing match failed and the clout chasing became too embarrassing to defend, Tate resorted to the lowest, most desperate tactic in the influencer playbook. He threatened to leak exposing information about Sneako, trying to weave a bizarre narrative that Sneako was secretly obsessed with him. Tate instructed his paid clippers to flood timelines with alleged leaked photos, but Sneako completely outmaneuvered him.
A few years ago, there was a streamer, I think everybody knows who I'm talking about, who was obsessed with me. If I got a girl's number on Fresh and Fit, he tried to do the same thing. Every single thing I did, he copied verbatim. He tried to be me, literally be me. He was obsessed with me. And I thought he just wanted to be famous, and that turned out to be a homosexual obsession.
Instead of hiding, Sneako got out in front of it. He hopped on stream and preemptively laid out exactly what Tate was going to do. He admitted that when he was 17 years old, some private, embarrassing photos were leaked online. He pointed out that half the images circulating were entirely fake, and the others were decades-old jokes from a comedy podcast. Sneako took away Tate's ammunition by owning his past. He pointed out the staggering hypocrisy of Andrew Tate calling anyone else out for this behavior, considering Tate's own well-documented history of manipulating people online for money.
Let me just start up and address something that I saw on Twitter. I don't want to give this any energy, but this is part of a bigger coordinated attack. And I saw a recent major attack on Twitter today from a lot of people. One, they're posting some Photoshop photos from when I was 15 years old, trying to warp my face together. And there's some other people that I don't want to address at all either, because it gets to a certain point where you cross the line. He lost in terms of, he tried to ruin my career. Many times he said he wanted to ruin my career. And then after the club situation, which he folded over, he went to PBD and snitched on me.
At the end of the day, this beef isn't just internet drama. It's a passing of the torch. It is the definitive proof that Andrew Tate's reign is over. He has been reduced to an internet gossip channel, grasping at fake photos, challenging much smaller guys to fights, and trying to use teenage slang to stay relevant. Meanwhile, Sneako has matured. He is utilizing his platform to stand firmly on anti-war positions, calling out bad actors, and refusing to compromise his integrity for a quick payday. Reflecting on my own 10-year progress and journey on this platform, you quickly realize that authenticity and staying true to your values is the only way to survive the long game. Sneako learned that lesson, and Tate completely forgot it. Tate tried to destroy Sneako, but in the end, he only managed to expose his own crippling desperation. The top G is gone, and Sneako is the one walking away with his head held high. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments, is there any coming back for Andrew Tate, or is his career officially done? See you in the next one.